It's the revelations of a hugely important intelligence community insider, a guy called David Grusch, who until early April was a very senior member of the intelligence community. Dave and I have been talking for some time, and I have the television interview with Dave Grusch. It's big, and I think we have the beginning of what I believe will be a trail of whistleblowers who are now coming forward to talk about what they know about a non-human intelligence that's been engaging with this planet for many, many years, and incredibly even further, the fact that the United States government really is in possession of retrieved non-human technology. He's basically he's one of the guys who quite literally was involved in putting together the presidential daily briefing for the President of the United States. He was cleared so highly that he was given access to over 2,000 special access programs. The extraordinary thing about Dave Grusch's revelations, he has been approved by the US Department of Defense to do the interview he's done with me and with Leslie Kean and Ralph Blumenthal, because essentially he has put what he wants to talk about to the US Defense Department, and he has received approval from the US Defense Department to talk about what he reveals to both Leslie Kean and Ralph Blumenthal and myself. I've been able to confirm, and so have Leslie and Ralph, that Dave's allegations made in a secret hearing to the Inspector General of the intelligence community have been verified to be both urgent and credible, where they basically look at what people want to write. And if you are a compartmented, top secret cleared person, you are legally obliged to get anything that you want to publish checked by the Defense Department. There are things that are authorized in the DOPSA review by the Defense Department that are simply breathtaking. They are authorizing Dave to talk about historical crash retrievals. I'm talking about, well, I would call it alien, so would you, but the term they use is non-human intelligence. Sure. They're talking about non-human intelligence technology, NHI technology. And we're going to be hearing that term a lot.
Is he still in any danger of being, say, arrested?
Any whistleblower. I mean, I feel as an investigative journalist that the one thing that we always have to respect is the person who decides to come out from the shadows and speak publicly. It is the most courageous thing that any patriot, any public servant can do. This is such protected information. It has been kept from the public, I think, improperly, illegally, and criminally. Criminal offences have been committed. Terrible things have been done in the name of national security to protect this secret. I think there are people who will go to jail if US law is heeded. I'm absolutely shocked by what's been revealed. And frankly, if what's revealed over the next week doesn't force Congress and the mainstream media into an extremely aggressive investigation for the first time of this issue, if that doesn't happen, America might as well just declare itself an authoritarian regime and give up pretending to be a democracy. I'm really quite shocked. In some cases, I'm scared about what I'm aware of. I think that the real story behind the Dave Grusch decision to go with the debrief, the fact that it's not going in the Washington Post or the New York Times or CBS, ABC, NBC, is an indictment of mainstream investigative media. The failure of the American media to recognize that all this time, this has been a real story. It hasn't been a confabulation. It hasn't been an invention or a wacky tinfoil hat story. It's been reality. To hear Dave Grusch say, as he does, that he knows that there's been a deliberate disinformation campaign against the American people to keep this secret from them is, in my book, shocking. And to hear the account that he gives of the crimes that have been committed, very, very serious crimes, and to know that media were approached in the making of this story by Leslie and Ralph to get this published in major newspapers. And you know what? They didn't get a spine. They failed. They failed horribly to recognize the significance of this story. And they allowed themselves to be led by their nose by people inside the Pentagon who are still trying to suppress this story. I've made stories with the New York Times and the Washington Post. I know how hard it is to get a story through those newspapers. And I am calling the New York Times and the Washington Post gutless cowards for their failure to follow this story up. They've chosen cravenly to ignore a real story that the American public is demanding to know about, that Congress has mandated by legislation should be known about, and they have contrived in the conspiracy to cover this up.
One of the things you're going to learn in Ross's reporting is that it's a 90-year cover-up, not the one that we've been saying might be 80. It's a 90-plus year cover-up. I'm angry at the government for not being able to level with the people about this. I don't know what the ultimate truth is, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but I know that we should have it.